Here we go. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the RRR247 team conference call. Guys, you're in for a great treat tonight. We got a lot of great things. Welcome to 22 brand new people that are plugging in for the very first time tonight. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family. You are in the right place at the right time. I can assure you that. My name is Niall Eddy. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, I live in Southwest Florida, which is why I was hooting so loud for the Floridians when they logged in. I'm over in the southwest side of the state and near the harbor in a boating community. Boats around me, fishermen all around me. I can run to the water in a jiff, and I call that almost heaven to me because I do love the water. I do love the fish, and anybody that's known me for more than a week knows how much I love the fish, and how much I love the water, and how much I love the beach. I've been in this industry for 33 years now, and it's been absolutely a blessing and nothing but a blessing. It actually is something that happened to me 33 years ago. I walked away from my job, and it changed the entire course of my life. I'm an ex-carpenter, framer, a construction worker, turned aviation mechanic who joined this industry shortly after getting my A&P license. And it didn't take me long at all to realize that this was something new, something different, something that could really have a positive effect on anybody's life that just plugged in and became a good student. And that's exactly what I did. I got plugged in. I became a student of the industry. I gave it all that I had. I gave it my heart and soul. I poured into it. And just, I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I had no experience and no knowledge of it. So I just gave it the extra work ethic that was instilled in me by my grandfather, and I poured everything I could into it every single day. And in a couple of years' time, that turned out to be a really good decision because I found myself making more in just a couple of months than I ever made in an entire year. Anybody I knew at that time made in an entire year. But more importantly, what it gave me was time freedom, because I was that lucky dad that got to put my kids on the bus, take them off the bus, get involved in football and volleyball and cheerleading. And when the high school needed a bowling coach, I raised my hand and became their bowling coach because it gave me another chance to spend more time with my kids. And that was a blessing and a half. And all you dads out there know exactly what I'm talking about. If you are the dad with kids, then most of the time we barely get home in time to have dinner with them. And sometimes just give them a kiss on the forehead and tell them to go take their bath, brush their teeth, and go to bed so we can do it again tomorrow. This industry allowed me to stay home and raise my kids. That's all my kids knew was dad home, dad working out of a home office. And that instilled that entrepreneurial spirit into them when they were little, even though I didn't even know what I was doing. But I led by example, and my kids are either self-employed or somewhere in upper management, talking about becoming self-employed right now. So it's been a great life. Now I have 6 kids, and now I have 6 grandchildren and one on the way. And 2 great-grandchildren, or 1 great-grandchild and one on the way. So I'm in the grandpa mode, and I'm really happy to be where I am right now, hanging around with the founders of this system again, because now I'm building a legacy to leave for not just my kids, but my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. It's a proud thing to be a part of. Every day I wake up, pinch myself, and blessed, and I get to talk to the co-founders of this system, to brand new people on the regular, and I tell them, and I've done it in front of them, I pinch myself, because it's kind of like, it's almost like a dream that we have so much, and so much that we could take to the world and help so many other people, that it's a constant blessing. And I'm that guy that wakes up, whether I've had 3 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep, I wake up excited to get to my desk to see who else I get to help today. What am I going to do? What's going on with this system that I'm a part of? I've been here for 33 years, like I said, and I told you I met the co-founders of this system, Rory and Tanya Rickard, 29 years ago. So 29 of my 33 years have been right side by side with them. We were business partners. I mean, we did a lot of great things together over the years, but we became friends, and we became family. And that's just something that naturally happens when you surround yourself with good-hearted people, and you're on the same page, and you have the same kind of goals in life, which is just to help as many other people as you can. And that's truly who they are. When I met Rory first, I was an entrepreneur building my business. only, 4 years into it, but I was looking for a way to run ads all over the country for a mail order system that I was working back then. And I needed a voicemail that I could run every one of those cities through, get my messages. And as I built a team of people around the country, I found out through Rory, when I talked to him on the phone the first time, that I could leave a message and send it out to all of them at the same time. Folks, this was back in 91, 92. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have that kind of technology today, but what we had was a really young guy with a passion for a system that he got plugged into and loved teaching other people how to use that system. But when the internet came out in 93, 94, that's where Rory really found his niche, right? He went online and became one of the first internet gurus. It started off in the lead generation industry, because all of us entrepreneurs, not just in this country, but worldwide, and he was that guy flying from country to country to country all the time. When I called him on the phone, I didn't know where he was, what state he was in, or what country he was in, whether he was skiing down a mountainside, still working and taking phone calls. Just an incredible human being. And he became the first lead generation guru on the internet. And because he did everything right, even back then, and was building this for the future and building relationships with a lot of people, that business thrived and is still going today. And he's still the number one lead generator out there. But a couple of years after he got involved in that, he started building websites, and he became one of the first website gurus out there. And I used his early websites. The statistics that we got from using that website were just like no other out there. And we've all tried many of others out there, because we all wanted to go online to build our business, but nobody could build a website like Rory could. And when I got to fly out to Utah for the very first time and meet his partner, which is the co-founder, and his lovely wife, Tanya, I realized why they were so successful. Because this is a power couple like nobody you've ever met before. They're business folks who have big hearts to help other people. And Tanya's probably one of the most organized people on the planet. I can still say that today. She's somebody who plans every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year. She's planning stuff 2 years out, and her and Rory are always on time and always building and always going forward and always focused because of the organizational skills. And when I met her, she was a young mom raising 7 kids, running several businesses, and helping Rory launch this incredible program that you guys are looking into today. Those websites that he was building went from 1 page to 2 pages to 3 pages, kept evolving over the year to what you see today, which is hundreds of pages inside that front page that we all market and advertise. And every one of those pages represent different products and services that are relevant to the marketplace that we get to go out there and pay it forward and share and have a positive impact on other people's lives with it. Whether it's the product itself, the service itself, or the opportunity that we get to present to them, help them achieve their dreams, whether it's part-time income, extra supplemental income, or they want to change their careers like so many of us done. If you are somebody who's looking for something great to get plugged into, where you can build yourself an incredible business like that, while you're also helping a lot of other people out there, and you're a part of something that's being run by 2 people that are just incredible servant leaders who really, really focus every single day and have a meeting every morning to talk about what they can bring to this family, what they can add to this system, how they can make it better, and teach everybody to create multiple streams of income that are going to last you for the rest of your life, or you can hand off to your children or your nieces and nephews. If you don't have children, then guess what? You're in the right place at the right time, and you've surrounded yourself with a lot of great people that want to welcome you with open arms into this family, in this team, and teach you how to do exactly what all of us have done before you. So welcome to the 22 brand new people that made it on tonight. And there's a lot of great things in store, but there's some really good stuff in store tonight for your very first call. When I told you Rory was a young guy, mentoring a lot of other people and supporting a lot of other people, and he did things the right way. He built relationships. He nurtured every relationship that he's ever had. A lot of that started from his early mentors that he had and the seeds that were planted into his head. And we talk about Jim Rohn all the time. You know, you guys know how much Jim Rohn means to us. But Rory's had some important people in his life that took time out of their life to take this young kid, this rosy cheeked kid with not a hair on his face, They seen something in him and decided to mentor him and teach him how to think with prosperity and abundance, how to become a servant leader, and how to communicate with others very well. One of those people, you guys, we have the pleasure to meet tonight, and I'm going to bring Rory on for a minute because I want him to tell the rest of the story. I know of him. I've got to meet him. I actually got to spend some time with him the other day, but I don't want to take anything away from what this guy means to Rory. So I want to bring Rory, our co-founder, out right now to introduce this great guy to you. And I hope you guys got some pens and something to write with, or get your favorite pencil, sharpen your pencil, get your favorite pen out, and we're ready to take some notes, because tonight's going to be a great night. And I think it's going to be a day that really catapults your life in the kind of direction that I was talking about earlier. So my pleasure to bring out our co-founder first, Mr. Rory Rickard. Can you please unmute, turn your camera on, and introduce us to your guest?
Absolutely. I've been up and down, jumping up and down anyway on this. I'm so thrilled, guys, to share him with you, and in a big way. So I see we still have people coming in as we do. You guys, Tuesdays are not to be missed. And I watched as we've grown this community and where it's gone, and I was able to get back in with my mentor, Richard, and he travels a lot like we do. We both live in Utah, but the odds of us being in the same place is pretty hard. And we sat down and made a week of it to really catch up and go through things. And as I went through what we've created, obviously I'm really proud of what we've done here. And I watched him see where things were coming in. I saw him get excited. And he's seen what this is, transferred to. And we caught up on a lot of things and where the path has gone. But you guys, my path that helped created all this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for this man. And if he wouldn't have put me on the path that he did and saw that I wanted something so big, and I was, he just believed in me, and he just hooked me up with whatever direction he could to help me achieve what I wanted to achieve. And when an opportunity made itself available to me, he got me right in there. He's the one that took me right into the mailroom to take over the printing and stuff, and it got me an opportunity, a break, something I could go make my own way with. And yet he kept checking in on me. He was always there and watched the development. And we have some crazy stories about the days, but I learned so much so fast because of the experiences I was given. And it started with him and in the business world. I was a printing broker and making my way at a very young age. And he saw what I was doing, and he was always there to give me advice. And he can see where things were at, and he helped me catch up in that game. And he was an awesome father figure for me too, where I could just talk to him about anything. And he would give me advice on life just openly and teach things. And I've been trying to pay that forward forever. And you guys have read my book, it's in there, but when I talk about Richard Davidson, this is him. And we're going to be seeing him, but I want you guys to know you're not just getting a treat of an introduction. He has some incredible wisdom. And when we were going over it, you're going to hear his passion, but this is something that I know is going to help everybody here. And in true RRR247 fashion, we had him put it together on a blog page. He's building his PBS out, but you guys take notes, but he's going to send you some information you can start doing this on. And this is a great cross-marketing piece for our Bella Vita. So we're going to tie in some more stuff later, but you guys, I'm going to give him the floor. He's going to go for like 30-ish minutes. And then I'll come on and polish some things off. This is an absolute treat today. I'm getting my notes ready. We had time to talk about this before, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he got this done for us in a day or so. When we were talking with Niall and going over a plan, you guys, he's part of us. You're going to be seeing him at the live events. You're going to be seeing him around. So you guys, this is I love this man. I am so glad he's part of what we're doing here. I got tears in my eyes. I'm going to turn my camera off and take some notes. Richard, if you would take it away, and you can go into much of your background. You guys, I did not give him justice in my book as far as what his background is. His background could be a book by itself, and it should be. And he's got a book coming out. We'll talk about that more. But this is some amazing wisdom. And I'm going to tell you, when I talk about listen to your elders, listen to this man. All right, Richard, take it away.
Well, thank you, Rory, and thank you, Niall. What an introduction. I'm still on the technical side of this, so it's a pleasure to be here, and especially that Rory and I made the connection back, because again, I have traveled a lot, and we were in lockdown for the last 2 years, so we were able to get a lot of things done here that I've been wanting to do for us, me and my wife, and so this introduction is just an introduction, and just to expose who we are, what we represent, what we're trying to do with our lives, what we've done with our 12 children, 26 grandchildren, 14 great grandchildren. I don't know if they mentioned or not, but I'm 81 years young, and I'm getting younger and younger. I just had a birthday in February, but I'll try and do the technical side of getting this set up so I can share the screen. And then we'll go from there. So get rid of this one. And then I'm going to share the screen.
And while you're pulling that up, you guys, I'm just going to throw in a couple more things. Richard is an incredible friend. He is an amazing father. I got to catch up with his daughter, Tiffany, who I literally grew up with. Okay. And seeing what she's done, but his kids have just amounted to amazing human beings that are doing amazing things and helping the world. He's a legend. He's a living legend that just pays it forward. He is never worried about how he was going to get paid. He just did things. And you guys, I could go over more and more stories, but he has a very well-rounded life, and he's happy. You can tell he's genuinely happy. Those are the people you want to be around. You don't want to be around a miserable person because they don't have it all figured out. We're all getting things, sorted, and we're all trying to find our way. Some of us, when we find our way, we just radiate happiness because we know what true happiness is. You guys, watch his expressions through this whole time. This man does not have a horrible life. This man is just very happy, and he's gotten it there, and he's had a lot of experience to get there. But I just want you guys to just see, like, true wealth and happiness is literally easy to see on somebody. But man, okay, I'm gonna shut up, and I'm gonna put the mute on for me. Richard.
All right. Well, I really appreciate this opportunity, and what an introduction I've gotten from my new friends. I'm just getting to know Niall. He is a fisherman, but I'm a diver. I was a deep sea diver, and we'll get into a little bit of that. But mostly, I want to express my appreciation to both of them and this opportunity. This is more than just a money opportunity. This is a friendship opportunity. I mean, to get in front of 389 people, or almost close to 400 people, and to share who I am and what I'm all about. And it's all about paying it forward. I've lived a good life, and I want to share that with everyone. So let me get my technical stuff going here. All right. So as he mentioned, my name is Richard Davidson, and I am the alkalarian, and you'll learn what that is. And I've always had my brain kind of control my heart, but my heart kind of leads my brain where it should go. So let's see. All right. This is me and my wife. We travel a lot, and we love it. So, we just go all around the world. But right now, I'm just so thankful to be 81 years young. And we're going to talk about how to stay young. My wife and I were very active. We love to travel. We've traveled the world. We met a lot of great people. We love zip lining. We love to do water sports. This is my lovely wife of 25 years. And again, between us, we have our 12 children and our 26 grandchildren and our great grandchildren. And we try to see them. Now, those last couple of years, we've been in lockdown, but we've got plans to every single month, the rest of this year, to go see the children and the grandchildren. I'm pushing the wrong button here. Well, let's try a different way here. All right. Well, I said we're very active. We travel. Oh, this is going to be fun. Take a look at this chart. Okay, you've seen there's the names on here. Of gout, hepatitis, heart disease, cancer, depression, strokes, heart attacks, low libido, skin cancer. There's about 29 different symptoms on here. Well, I call this a fear chart because people, once they get this, they have fear in some form or fashion. Then they have to tell their families all about it. And but these are fear of symptoms and diseases, and some of us have one, two, and sometimes even three different things all going on at the same time, and it doesn't have to take place. I've learned that from my mentors. My first book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He is actually my mentor, and I read it when I was 12 years old. I passed that on to Rory when he was 16 and 18, and I love Rory, and now I'm getting to know, I don't know if I love Niall yet, but we'll find out. But I have to read a short disclaimer because it's required by my lawyer and people around the world. The disclaimer is that I am not a doctor or a scientist. I make no claims to cure any ailments, symptoms, or diseases. I make no recommendations that will guarantee any physical, mental, or emotional results or cures. I only offer information, education, and awareness of an existing protocol that has been in practice for a long time and has helped individuals improve their personal daily health and wellness. Wellness, diet, stamina, strength, fitness, exercise, health, lifestyle, nutrition. We all think about those things. And personal wellness is something we should be thinking about to stay in shape to do what we want to do. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy, how can you enjoy it? How can you spread that well? You've got to be physically fit. But when you have health issues, you need to explore some other options. You need to change your mindset and your lifestyle in order to get the results that you desire. Now, something happened to me in 2009. And while I was working on a sabbatical back in 2009, I had a massive heart attack. I was a guy in the Navy that never got sick, never took a drug, never took an aspirin. I was never, ever sick. But I survived that heart attack quite well because I went alkaline in 2002. And that's what we're going to be talking about, alkalinity and going alkaline and becoming alkalarians. The reason I'm talking to you today, I am in the heart attack prevention business, and I want to pay it forward. 600,000 people die every year of heart attacks. Now it's over 700,000. That's more deaths than all the other diseases put together, included COVID. So let's talk about it. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk to women over 40 that we don't want them to have heart attacks. 300,000 men die of heart attacks and 300,000 women. More men have heart attacks, but more women die because they don't recognize the symptoms. I want to teach you those symptoms so you can stick around for your children, for your grandchildren, for your great-grandchildren, for your spouse, for your best other half. And that's my whole purpose. So let's talk about an alkalarian and some terms to think about. Now remember, as I'm talking about this, red means acidic and blue means alkaline. And we'll talk about the pH chart. We'll get into that. If you haven't studied that before, you'll get to know it tonight. So in the cycle of sickness, it starts off with free radicals. Now we've all heard about free radicals, but nobody ever told us what it was or what we're supposed to do with them. And so, but free radicals causes acidosis. Now that might be a new word for you. But all through this presentation, you're going to want to know what acidosis is. Google it, look it up, learn it, because it's the basis of everything I teach and everything that has been around for 100 years of a lifestyle. Now, inflammation and oxidation, we've heard about that. We hear about inflammation all the time. You get inflamed, and there's a reason. It's there to take care of something your body is trying to fight. So as you get that, you'll identify a symptom. So you have a symptom, you write it down, you go tell the doctor, here's what my symptoms are. He does an evaluation to see what that symptom might mean, and it might lead to a disease. And that disease, of course, could lead to death. So that's the cycle of sickness. free radicals cause acidosis. Acidosis causes inflammation and oxidation. And those go to symptoms we recognize in that chart. And that could lead to a disease, and it can also live to death. Now, we're all going to die, but we're going to talk about how we want to die. Now, in the cycle of wellness, let food be thy medicine. And that's a quote from Hippocrates, my favorite doctor. And he's been around for many, many years, and he was right from the beginning, and he's right today. But you need antioxidants to fight those free radicals, and you need to recognize your body pH, and we're going to talk about that. You want to be healthy, you want to live a long and well, and you want to let's go backwards, double click. You want to die happy at a very old age. That's my goal. I want to die happy very, very young. So to protect your body from these toxic acidosis is all around us. Every cell in your body requires alkaline air, alkaline water, alkaline food, alkaline supplements, and we added this during COVID. We need alkaline thoughts, our mindset. We now has a fifth pillar to our wellness program, and we'll be talking about each one of those. So as I was talking with Niall the other day, I said, what's the most important thing you hit? It's your diet. No, how about the very first thing you need? How about air? You got to breathe. We teach you breathing techniques, not from trying to earn money off of it, but the proper way. I have a good friend that wrote a book called Breathe, and it's a great recommended book, and we'll talk about that when we get in further into the schedule for the rest of the few weeks we got. 7 minutes without air and you're gone. 7 to 8 minutes, you got to breathe. You have to have that oxygen. Water, H2O. Here we go with oxygen again. 2 part hydrogen, 1 part oxygen makes water. So you always have to have oxygen. Now, how long can you go without water? Maybe several days, maybe a week or more, but you're going to die of dehydration. And you get to the third one, and that's food. Now you can go several weeks without food, but you've got to have food to keep that balance. Now, supplements is when you get older. When you're young, you don't need a lot of supplements because you're making them as long as you're eating the right air, water, and food. But as you get older, you stop making certain supplements, and you got to take them as a supplement. So you got to know which ones to take. And there are thousands and thousands of companies out there that tell you they have the very, very best. And you need to have this, and you have this. They're telling you that because they want you to buy their product. Where I'm coming from is I'm going to tell you why you need certain vitamins, and then you choose where you want to take it from. You can get it from anywhere you want. Fresh vegetables out of the garden, or a supplement, or a drink, or whatever. But we're going to get into why you want to understand what your pH of your body is, so that you don't have to load yourself up with things that are counteracting. And then the last one, of course, is thought, and that's a mindset. We've had so many problems with people and teenagers and children in this last couple of years. And this is a big change, the way we've ever had it before in our lifestyle. Well, as we go into each one of these, let's just talk about alkalinity. So if you don't know what that is, we're going to talk about alkalinity, alkalarian, and what is pH? Well, the word pH stands for potential hydrogen. Again, getting back to the 5 basic elements: oxygen, hydrogen. Hydrogen is the smallest molecule on the pH scale, on the Richter scale. It's the smallest one. So you have to have hydrogen. And in weeks to come, you'll learn about molecular hydrogen. We'll get into that. But if you had a swimming pool, you'd have to know what the pH of the pool is in order to swim safely in that pool. It's required by law. You put certain chemicals there and you get the pH at 7.365, and then you can swim safely and you're good. If you have a garden and you want to have organic vegetables, you want to know what the pH of the soil is for that vegetable to grow properly so you can have and enjoy it and have a great salad or whatever. But it's very, very important to know what is the most important question is, and that is, what is your personal pH? Now, I've asked that question to thousands and thousands of people, and very few people can give me the right answer. But tonight I'm going to give you that answer. So if I meet you personally and I ask you what your personal pH is, not only am I going to give you the answer, I'm going to tell you how to remember it. And it's very important because it applies to you, your children, your friends, your family. It applies to everybody. So your personal pH, are you ready? Drum roll, Niall. 7.365. And the way you remember that, there's 7 days in a week and 365 days in a year. So your personal pH, when I meet you, shake your hand, give you a hug, is 7.365. And we'll get into that later. So this is a pH chart. And it stands again for potential hydrogen. So the chart goes from 1 to 14, red to black. If you notice, everything is red to black. Money, rainbow, attitude, everything goes from red to black. So right in the middle is 7, and that's base. So below 7 is acidic, and above 7 is alkaline. So if you're below 7, you're going to, if you're below 7, you're going to get a disease or one of those symptoms that was on that chart. Most diabetics are a 6 on the pH scale. Most cancer patients are about a 5. But soda is a 2. And we're going to be talking about that in a minute. If you're above 7, you're alkaline. And if you're an alkalarian and you're an alkaline, the bottom line is you just can't get sick. Disease can't grow in an alkaline body. It does grow in an acidic body. So if our blood is if our body's at 7.365, we're going to talk about your blood, your water, your whole system of maintaining that. I keep mine above 7.365. And if you do that, now I got a challenge for you at the end of our little presentation here. So the blood is about 7.365 and cannot change. Your blood will stay that. You'd have no control over that. God made it that way. 7.365. If your blood changes 0.2 of a point, say it goes down to 7.1, you could go into a coma and die. People in the hospital are in comas, their blood pH has gone down, and all the doctors are trying to do is get it back up to 7.365 so they can be alive. So it maintains just right there all by itself. Now, if your blood needs something to maintain that buffered state, it will rob from your body what it needs. If it needs calcium to maintain that buffered state, guess where it gets its calcium from? The bones. Then you get osteoporosis. Then you have these other bone problems. Well, you have to maintain that. So that's where the balance of the supplements come in. You have to know what your body needs. So when you're tested and get these different exams, you got to know what your pH is. So the amniotic fluid in the mother's womb, where we all lived for 9 months, was about 7.365. So for 9 months, we all lived in this fluid. And as long as that our mother wasn't doing drugs and smoking and all this acidic stuff, we came out pretty good. And generally most kids do, just sometimes, and it's sad that a woman would do that to a baby. But all of us generally came out, and so we lived in the fluid is the same as our blood, 7.365. When we were born, the other body fluids in our body was about 7.365. But that changes every single day. As soon as you put something in your mouth, the very first thing in the morning, whatever that is, if it's alkaline, great. If it's acidic, you're going to go downhill the rest of the day, and you're going to become, you're not going to be an alkalarian, you're going to get below 7, and then you have the opportunity to share one of these diseases or these symptoms. Now, we mentioned carbonated drinks. A carbonated drink is a 2 on a pH scale. So when they tell you not to drink carbolic acid, the reason is because it's 50,000 times more acidic than water. 50,000 times. So if you drink one carbonated drink, you have to drink 30 glasses of water just to get your body back up to 7.365. And so people that are walking around with a big gulp all day long will never get there. They will gain weight, they will be diabetics, they will have diseases, they will have all these symptoms that you get when you live in the acidic portion below 7. So we recommend that you Google and learn all about acidosis, a key word. In the future weeks and months, and when we hook up, that's what we'll be talking about, acidosis. All right. Now, next, we're going to go to another chart that I've got here, and it's ion health. Ion means to be absorbed, and that's why I chose it, myionhealth.com. So we're going to be talking about antioxidants and free radicals, and this is a simulated cell that I put together to explain basically how all cells work. And all cells are different, but they all work generally in the same way. So a free radical is a molecule that is out of balance with a positive unpaired electron. Now, I can't get technical or science with you because I'm not a scientist. And I had to be shown this, how this works. But that's what a free radical is. It's got an unpaired electron, and all it wants to do is get paired up and be a happy free radical. And then so an antioxidant is a molecule that is in balance with lots and lots of negative electrons, and it is ready to neutralize those free radicals by donating a negative electron. That's why they tell you, get free antioxidant. This is antioxidant. They sell you stuff with antioxidant. What they're trying to tell you is to get rid of the free radicals in your body so you're not acidic, so you're not catching one of those diseases. So that's why you want lots and lots of good antioxidants. And if you notice that the antioxidants are blue, the free radicals are red. Red is acidic, blue is alkaline. All right. Next, all cells require alkaline water and alkaline nutrients to function. If you look at the cell on the right, you got these water channels where all the nutrients and water can get into a cell membrane. And then what it's going in there for, to affect the DNA of our body, is through these mitochondria, these spark plugs. These spark plugs are your energy. This is what your metabolism is all about. But but when you go through that cycle of each cell, you end up with some acidic waste. And that waste, you've got to get it out of that cell in order for that cell to keep functioning the way it's supposed to and maintain its. So like a cancer cell will get contaminated and be cancerous because it's not getting rid of the waste out of that cell, and it'll become cancerous, and then it'll duplicate itself into another cancer cell. And pretty soon you got a growth going on. So when people say you beat cancer and this and that and the other, all they're saying is you got rid of the cells that were acidic, and you get them out of your body. But you can just have another cell that come right back, and you have the same things over again. So your mouth is alkaline. So anything you put in your mouth has got to be alkaline. You want alkaline food, alkaline drinks, all alkaline stuff. The saliva in your mouth is alkaline. So you want to mix that in. So when you put the food in there and you chew it and you chew it and you masticate it, and then you're getting ready to swallow it after you tried to chew the best you could, and you swallow it into your stomach. Well, your stomach is acidic functioning. You don't have acid in your stomach all the time, but if you didn't do a good job chewing it, when it went down to your stomach, then your brain will introduce a lot of hydrochloric acid into your stomach to help emulsify it before it goes into your small intestine for distribution to your body. That's why you're chewing it and putting it in your body. You need the nutrients and vitamins and all the good stuff. But then after it goes into your small intestine and goes out through your blood system all the way out into your body, it's your lymph system that brings the acid residue back through the liver and back out of your body. That's what your lymph system is all about. Now, your lymph system, you actually have more lymph in your body than you do blood. A lot of people don't know that. So that's very, very important to understand lymph. Not the technical side, not the scientific side. This is pure lay level language stuff. So your lymph system brings back all that acid residue, puts it out to your body, and it ends up with whatever it can't handle, get out through we'll talk about how to get rid of it, into your large intestine. Now, your large intestine is the last place where this acidic residue can maintain, but you still got to get it out there too. And we're talking about how to get it out. So bottom line to it is that we are alkaline by design, but we're acidic by function. Every one of us, we're all the same. So all cells create an acid residue. There's something left over that's got to get out, got to be removed, so it cannot build up into inflammation. It was on the other chart. Because we now know that through that cycle of sickness, that inflammation will lead to a symptom. That symptom can lead to a disease, and that disease will lead to death. So the way we get rid of it, I push the right button, we remove acidic waste by BSPP. That's breathing, sweating, peeing, and pooping. Now, Dr. Oz said that on national television, so I can say it to you guys, okay? But we're going to talk about how to get it out. So all that nutrients and all that good stuff you're putting into those cells in your body come in, get your mitochondria, your spark plug working, get your energy up so you can go run and take care of the kids and whatever you need to do to have energy. You've got to get acidic waste out of that cell and out of your body. You get that acidic waste out through respiration, perspiration, urination, and defecation. Now, all those systems have got to work. If one of those systems aren't working properly, it disrupts the other three. You got to perspire properly. You got to breathe properly. You got to urinate properly. You got to defecate properly. And we'll get in. We've taught Niles a nice lesson the other day about how do you tell if you're healthy. Your hair's growing, your fingernails growing, and your poop floats. That's my criteria if you're healthy or not. All right. I breathe, drink, and think alkaline. Breathe, drink, eat, and think alkaline. And by following the Alkalarian lifestyle program, you can join us on this road to alkaline wellness. We're going to show you how easy it is to do. You can take whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to drink, but you want to make it alkaline, and I do have a challenge at the end here. But you can join us on the road to alkaline wellness. For an example, I eat a cat every morning for breakfast. Every day I have a cat, and that is a cucumber, an avocado, and a tomato. Now, it's been proven scientifically those three things will start your metabolism quicker than anything else. Now, Niles mentioned he doesn't like avocados. Well, don't eat them. But there's other things you can take in its place. But that combination, I've been having that every day since I started in 2002. When I learned about alkalinity in the 70s, studied in the 80s. I was a diver in the Navy. I took care of swimming pools. It's in my book that's coming out. And you'll be exposed to that. But the idea is that just try it. You might like it. All right. Now, to get started, I recommend these three books. Now, the first one is the Acid Alkaline Food Guide by Dr. Susan Brown, and it came out in 2006. I started in 2002. So that book came out at the perfect time. Now, the Acid Alkaline Food Guide by Dr. Susan Brown, it's $8.95. I have probably referenced thousands of these books being sold by her. And I tell, hey, Dr. Susan Brown, tell these people what they need to do. So the Alkaline Food Guide is a cross-reference. Everything is acidic and everything is alkaline. And we're going to use this book as a challenge at the end of this. But it's $8.95. If you don't get any of the other two books, get this one. Have it in your back pocket. Take it to the restaurant. Make your meals out of it. But go alkaline. The next one came out in 2014 while I was because I was on my sabbatical between 2007 and 2011. And that was when I had the heart attack in 2009. But the Alkaline Cure came out in 2014, and that was by Dr. Stephen Domenic. Well, he went to the FX Mayer Health Retreat Center in Austria. And he taught it. He was a young doctor, Dr. Mayer, and he taught alkalinity for 70 years. And he died a healthy 95-year-old. But Dr. Domenic came out and he said he wants the world to know about it. So for $24.95, you can get a book, The Alkaline Cure by Dr. Stephen Domenic. and it's got a 14-day startup, and it's got recipes, and it's got why you want to be an alkalarian and why you want to go alkaline, and the documented scientific proof up to date why you want to do that. Now, I used to teach classes here in Salt Lake City. We have a water center. She was in there, and then it got too big. Then I started teaching at the Salt Lake City Community College, and I actually won for 5 years in a row some awards for locally teaching about wellness and getting good results. But I used to put on the blackboard, I'd put, for health's sake, get off your fatty acid. And then in 2018, Dr. Jeffrey came out with a book called Get Off Your Acid. So if you want the latest book that's in sync with what I teach and who I am as an 80-year young alkalarian, Dr. Jeffrey can have you the ways. He's got 7 steps in 7 days. Of course, he's got stuff to sell you too. He can sell you all kinds of things. The alkaline cure, you have to go to Austria to get that, which I want to take Rory and Niall. We want to take our family. We're going to go there. But Dr. Jeffrey, you can get that book, and it's $23.95. So for about $60, you've got just about every book you'll need to become an alkalarian with the challenge we're going to offer you. They are available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Sometimes you get a deal where you get 2 of them that's really inexpensive. But I recommend, if you don't get the other 2, get the Acid Alkaline Food Guide by Dr. Susan Brown. So we all have doctors, we all have dentists, and I get regular checkups and medical tests to make sure that my lifestyle is keeping me alkaline and well. Through regular exercise, I eat healthy, I drink the right kind of water, reduce the stress, which causes, so we can have a healthy life. Now, my new website that my daughter, that Rory was talking about up in Canada, is put together for me this last year. We launched it in January, and we're still on the going to tweaking it out, but there'll be videos on there. There's no selling, it's information, education, and awareness. I want 1 million alkalarians. I've got some really vast goals, but we're just getting started. I got a group in England, multiple sclerosis people, a great group over there, and they're getting great results with MS, multiple sclerosis. If any of you out there know somebody with MS or you have MS, we have a great alkaline program with great proven results with great testimonies, all just by going alkaline. So I adopted the alkalarian lifestyle in 2002, and it literally saved my life in 2009 when I had my massive heart attack. Again, the guy that never got sick, never took a drug, was just always healthy. But it sneaks up on you. It's a silent disease. And that's why I'm in the heart attack prevention business, because I don't want anybody to sneak up on, especially the women, because they did autopsies on women, and it showed that after they had a massive heart attack, they'd had several little heart attacks before then, and they passed away. That's sad, especially because it's preventable. It's preventable. And we've got latest technology about what we can do besides some other testing that we can do so that you don't have to have that heart attack. So I'm the walking, talking example that this works. It works for me, and it can work for anybody. But you got to change your attitude. You got to change your lifestyle, and it will change your life. I've always had my eye on my health. So we invite you to join us on the road to great health and wellness, and choose to set a goal to become an alkalarian. Thank you for your interest in our program, and good luck.
All right, and then Richard, don't show anything more. Okay, you guys, we're going to cover some things, and then we're going to bring up the alkalarian stuff in like next week, the week after, and so forth. We're going to drip some information on you. This is a lot to take in, but I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. It's going to help a lot of us. Okay. Here, I'll go ahead
and Richard, I've already had the discussion about the avocado, because every time Rory and Tanya and Stephanie and myself get together, we're usually ordering some guacamole.
Yeah.
And I've recently learned to start eating the guac, which is the avocado. So I'm getting over that little roadblock, and I'm going to start having a cat for breakfast.
And so everything in there is what I like, but the tomatoes, Richard, they should peel the tomatoes.
Yeah, you want
Take the seeds out.
yeah, you want to take the seeds out because they're the lectins, and you want to take the skin off if you can. Sometimes I don't take the skin off, and that's not as bad, but you want to get the seeds out of the tomato. Because if you, for example, if you put sugar on a tomato, it's a fruit. If you put salt on a tomato, it's a vegetable. But for the cat process, you just get rid of the seeds. You don't need to put the seeds because they're acidic. That's the acidic side of the tomato.
So I don't know if you mentioned that. I have that in my notes when we talked before. That's the one thing I've been doing wrong. I never took the seeds out.
Okay.
So now I'm going to. Avocados and I know I love avocado toast, but the carbohydrates probably should be forgotten in the morning, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just speaking this out, you guys. Here's what we're looking at. We've got this amazing alkaline nutrition line of Velveeta. It's alkaline, and we're taking that. We're taking the youth in the morning. We got our brain. We've got the Zleam, and we got the youth. Right? Youth. I missed one. Plus, and coffee isn't like 1 cup of coffee is okay. It's like it's I think it's like a 5 or a 6 on the acidic line. It's not too bad. And then the plus is going to help balance it out, but that's the activator. And I notice when I drink plus, 1 cup of coffee is great. I love the taste of coffee, but I get that. I don't have it in overabundance at all, right? And I mean overabundance in a bad way, and I feel really good about it. I'm trying to analyze what I've changed in my life over the last little bit. I'm eating way more avocados. I have them on salads. I eat tomatoes. I like a tomato sandwich, which if you're having some carbohydrates in the day, it's okay. But in the morning, skip the carbohydrates.
Yep.
That are we on the same page?
Yep.
Okay. So I do a lot of cucumbers in my gin and tonics, which is interesting. But I'm just adding this up. Like so, cucumbers, avocados, and tomatoes. That's the cat, right?
That's the cat.
And we're not going to go to Q&A yet, guys. Here's what I want you guys to do is you got a page you built, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's put that up here. I'm going to share my screen and type it for everybody to see too. Okay, what's your PBS?
Okay, 4a95.com.
And then what's the / for your article?
It's under the health and fitness. There it is.
Let's go there. I'll go there. Did you add it to the categories?
You had it right there. Go backwards. You had it. There it is. Well, now I go to health and wellness is the first one. Health and fitness. Where's the top? All things health and fitness.
Okay, alkaline living. Okay.
Alkaline living. There you go. There it is. Rory built that for me in the last few weeks here, and I'm still working on it.
And Richard, that was one of my first questions to you about the tomatoes and the lectin. And I've heard so many people talk about the lectins in tomatoes, and not one person out of all those different sources I've read or listened to ever said you could take the skin and the seeds out. Oh, just amazing.
It's a fruit.
Yeah. And I've read so many articles and visited so many sites and watched so many videos about being in an alkaline state. But it's so hard sometimes to say, I don't know that person, right? I don't, where's the truth? Or there's so many controversial articles going back and forth. So to see you face to face live on camera, I mean, you had a big impact on me the other day.
That's good.
Not just for who you are and what you stand for, but that conversation had a big, because now I actually know somebody that lived that life and has an actual testimony. That's huge.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so here's where we're going to go because we're at the top of the hour here, and we're going to go to our PPPS section. Huge thanks, guys, for what he's sharing with us. This is a bomb of information. We're going to be writing pages on it. Here's something that I wanted to share is there are people searching how to live an alkaline life. It's actually a very big topic, and it's one of those what do you want to call it? It's a truth that's becoming more and more common, or a shared truth. And those are things we want to write about, but it also cross markets with everything we do pretty much here. And, you know, you guys, our fine wine that's made the way that it is alkaline. And a glass a day is absolutely great for an alkaline diet. Okay. And then we have our awesome Bella Vita products, Alkaline, which is great for the lifestyle too. And what I wanted to balance out is, I know for a fact that if you're not eating an alkaline type diet and you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to get the benefits of the alkaline products, they're going to counterbalance each other to where they're not effective.
Right.
So by changing your alkaline diet, those results that you're not getting are probably going to switch over and change. If you give your body the right materials, it's going to do it. But if you're giving it materials that contradict, they're going to battle it out, and you're not going to gain. Right. You're not going to gain. You're not going to lose weight. If anything, you might gain more weight. And so I'm looking at where this is at. And, you know, I noticed I've been changing things up. And when I talk to Richard from time to time, he reminds me of things going on. He always checks what I'm doing, and he doesn't push me into it. He's one of my softer mentors that way. He has a really good way to say it where you're like, yeah, I know what you're saying is true. I should do that more. And I started adding that back in. And avocados, I love avocados. Tanya and I eat them all the time. And then tomatoes, you know, I grew up, my grandma would always put salt on my tomatoes. She never took the seeds out. And now I got to tell you, like, when I make a tomato sandwich, I scrape the seeds out because I don't like them in there. It makes it soggy. My body's telling me to do that, I think. And now I'm like, I'm just going to do that ongoing. And that little change, guys, is effective. So no tomato seeds, and take the skin off as much as you can. Right? Sometimes they're a little soft. This might be hard. Not the end of the world, like you said, but these are one things we can just do a little bit better. And I think those of you that are looking to lose weight with the Bella Vita line, I want you to start documenting where you're at, right? And take the products. And I recommend all four because that's what works for me. I take Youth first thing in the morning, and then I wait 10 minutes before I take my vitamins. You guys, and I've always taken preventative vitamins. It's what I do, but I like to keep that energy going. It's helped a lot of things. But you guys, I want you guys to understand something with Richard. Richard, tell him, before you do the alkaline life, we had a talk with Niall, right?
Yes.
And we were breaking this stuff down, but you're here. Tell what's come back ever since you went alkaline. Tell him where you've been, like eyesight, hair, everything, and then going alkaline, what's happened?
Well, the bottom line to it, I had been exposed to this whole system while I was in the Navy, but didn't know it. I didn't even recognize it because I didn't know that much about it scientifically. But the bottom line was, when I started, and Dr. Young come out with a book called The pH Miracle. And that was my first introduction, but it was very scientific and way over my head. But I started in 2002, getting serious about it. So I started doing some things. And I wore glasses in 2002. I was 2.75, 1.75 correctable with lenses, and I wore glasses. 4 years, that'd be 2002 to 2006, I was going alkaline, went to my optometrist. I went from 2.75 to 1.75. And then I went on the program in 2007, took my sabbatical, 2009, had the heart attack. And then I got really serious, because if I hadn't gone alkaline in 2002, when I had the heart attack in 2009, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I would be dead. But because I did, I went to my optometrist where I was on my sabbatical back in Missouri, where my wife's from, went to the optometrist, and my eyesight went from 2.75, 1.75 to 0.75. And then about 4 years ago, I was down playing volleyball down in St. George at the senior games. Went and had my eyes tested. I have 20/20 vision. I don't wear glasses anymore. And
he's 81. I just want you guys to understand this because you're seeing the walking, proof, right? And it's diet, he says something else that's really cool, and I want to bring this up. And this is from my notes, okay? A lot of times we hear you are what you eat, right? And it's actually you are what you absorb. And that's not, you guys, that is so true because it's not just the foods we eat, it's the thoughts we think, it's the air we breathe, it's the water we drink and associate with, right? It's our environment. It's our overall environment depicts who we are. And that includes what we think and what we go through. And that's what we're here about, is to change people's environment for the better. And alkaline living is pretty much wealthy living in all the areas. It's a wealth of health and mindset and happiness. And it really is what we absorb. And this is something that is a great message to go out, a great direction to write. I got Richard's notes here, and I'm gonna go break down some more things and write some pages my way and tie into this. But you guys, we have alkaline living things that make things great. Like living healthy, once you understand it, it's not a bad thing. Tanya and I went through a sugar cleanse years back, 2016-ish. Best thing I've ever done for me. And it got things right. But I mean, sometimes it's just a little bit of a tweaking in your lifestyle and you get what you want, right? Like you manifest, hey, I want to be a thinner person. I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. I'm worried as I get older. And then information comes to you. It's up to us to act on that. This is one of those things, though, everything you heard Richard go through, you're probably going like, that makes sense. That sounds logical. Yeah, that adds up. And then it's just shifting to it, right? And if you look at what we're doing in our life, that, especially in today's world, we can get avocados pretty much year round. And I can tell you Costco has great guacamole that you can get in the freezer section if you can't find avocados. So there's ways to get around it. Any restaurant you go into in a hotel, if you ask them, they can make it for you. They have avocados, they have tomatoes, they have cucumbers almost always on hand. And then you do a beverage, you blend it up a lot too, right?
Yep, you can blend it.
I actually like the raw better, but you can blend it in a smoothie or whatever else. And this is how you start your day, and it helps kick that metabolism with that. And then we're taking our other alkaline products. You're going to see a better result doing those because you're not giving them things to fight. And it doesn't mean you can't have other things from time to time. You don't need to go without everything. It's just the balance of it, right? So like if you're doing cat every morning, and then at lunchtime, I do health shakes and other things too, but at lunchtime, just be sensible about it, right? Don't be doing the fat and the grease all the time. Red meat is technically acidic, right? It's on the lower side. It's like a 4, right?
Yeah, it's acidic, but you can have a little bit once in a while.
But if you're having it all the time, that's balancing that out the wrong way. Fish and chicken are more alkaline, right? The white meats.
White meat.
And this all should make logical sense. But I just wanted to point some things out here, and we'll bring Richard on. We'll talk more about it. But what I want to do is we want to start, looking at some directions to go here. And every time you look at a way to market something, you want to have a really good storyline or something that we can feed onto it and make it more like of a series of information. When we add alkaline living and add the products that we're marketing, it's a complete shoe-in. It just matches. And so when we were going over this, and I was just, I've been catching up with Richard a lot, guys, because it's been a long time and time goes by and you cherish it. And I'm catching all this up. I'm like, this is so awesome. And I'm thinking what we're trying to do and work on. I'm like, Richard, I got to get you on and talk to everybody. Because if you guys, we're at the meeting we're at, and then like if you were in the meeting that I had with Niall and Richard, we were going over building the business and this stuff is coming on there. I watched Niall go, okay, he wants better results. We all want better results from the products we have. But if we're not giving it what it needs to work, we're fighting it without realizing it. Now you guys have the knowledge. Now the thing about getting knowledge is now you can't be ignorant to it. Now you can make a change. So next week, we'll be adding some more things. So don't miss Tuesdays. We're going to start working on a writing direction on this. I'll have stuff ready to share on Saturday, or we'll have Stacy on there to help share that. We've got more products being rolled out. I needed to update you guys on a couple of things really quick. We're not doing any questions on this, Patricia and Deepak. I'd like to, but we've already gone over. So save your questions. We'll touch base on more of this next week. Richard, you can come on next week too, right? We'll do a carryover.
Yes.
Or is that okay? So I'll put this tentative. You don't know what's going to happen next Tuesday. We're probably going to keep going with this pace, but we're adding some more products, guys. And then also later tonight, I'll be done. We did that marathon Saturday on setting up your entire PBS. So let me just recap a couple things. It's RRR247.com/PBS-setup, or it's listed in step 2 on /RRR. There's 18 different sections. The 18th one is actually me doing all the updates on the category pages. But in 16 hours, I completed an entire student PBS from start to finish, other than the anchor pages that should have already been done. In her case, they were done. All the anchor pages were done. So all the 2 wine pages and like the 4 Bella Vita pages were done. I did all the other pages in the PBS, customization on the homepage and the posts, and the category pages in 16 hours. Now, that was a lot less time than I thought it was going to take because it feels so big, right? But when you see it broken down in chunks, you can knock it out in a weekend. You can knock it out in 2 weekends. You can knock it out in 3 weekends. You can knock it out in the course of a week by doing one section at a time. And that's what we've changed things to make things even better. Perception is reality. And I know that a lot of people, when I talk to you guys, it just seems like you'll never get your PBS modified. Well, now I've broken it down and you can see like you can do it in chunks, right? You know, you can't walk 10 miles in one step. It's several steps to get there, right? Once you get started and moving and momentum, you're going to get there. You can't eat an elephant in one bite. It takes several bites to eat an elephant, right? Same thing. So now it's broken down in that sequence. What's really important for you to do is get your PBS done, be posting ads, which we teach you how to do, get Google AdSense. That turns your cash machine on. Now, no matter what you're doing, as you're building your ads and your postings and your documentation and sharing it out there, you are able to generate revenue, at least from Google AdSense. That's at a basic minimum. Going at this at a hobby pace, great. The other thing that's really good about it is once you have Google AdSense, now you can add articles and write things at will. So when we roll things out on the Tuesdays and we touch base it on Saturdays, you're able to keep up to add stuff that we're all doing in that congrusive manner, that consensus manner. And that's what we want to be focused on. So in that being said, today, we're going to be taking Richard's knowledge on being an alkalarian, the alkaline lifestyle, and we're going to start writing in that direction and covering those keywords because it's going to cross market with healthy living, tying it to Bella Vita, tying it to our fine wines, and letting people know they can have a great life and do things if they do it properly. And it's all about life enhancement and quality of life. And guys, Tanny and I, we just love you guys so much. And we've lost family members here to heart disease like crazy. And if we can just extend people's life by knowledge, that's what we're here to do. So when I hear something like this, I feel responsible to shout it out to you. And we get to shout it out to the world in a way that's going to generate traffic, and it's going to be a very fun topic. And I can tell you in an indirect marketing way, when I put an article in social media about how to live better, you know, by being an alkalarian or live an alkaline life, and they go and they read this article and we talk about proper wine and why that's better and why this is better, we are going to be cross-marketing things where it's going to be their idea to join in on it in a different way. That's how it works. So this is a very dual purpose way to write it, but it's also something, guys, if you guys go Google Alkaline and there's stuff out there, but we can be an authoritative voice together in our numbers and have a great angle to bring people in. And then the health products of Bella Vita, it's going to be a great tie-in. And you want to have that storyline, like I was talking about, to market something effectively. We just found a storyline, not just a general health and lose weight and better skin. No, it's about living a longer life and tying in alkaline products, and we tie that in. You know, we have the base knowledge of alkaline living, which is just knowledge. And we tie that knowledge to products that we support, and that's what we're allowed to do with this. So Richard already gets that. He's been doing this for a long time, and it allows people to see like products he's found that are in the alkaline living spectrum. We're tying all this in, and you know, when I gave him the Velveeta to try, because you know I like to give him stuff when I see him. He does the same with me. He's like, "Oh, this is alkaline." I'm like, "I know, I love it." And then we're like tying the stuff in, and it just matches up. And you know, I do listen to what he says, and I soak it in, and I try to appease it to my life, because you guys, wait till you guys are standing next to him. He is the healthiest person I know, and he's always just radiates happiness. And he's just been a great person in my life. I'm glad to share him with you. I'm glad he's willing to be shared too. So that being said, let's end this tonight. We're going to go to the PPPS hour, and I'll stop the recording. God bless everybody. See you on our Wine Wednesday tomorrow, and see you on our training Saturdays and next Tuesday.